Libra, hello there, my beautiful friends. We're going to do your general tarot reading for late January 2025. Thank you so much for joining me today. You know, I appreciate each and every single one of you. So let's get right down to business as always and start you off with an oracle card here, just so we can dip our toes into energy and see what's happening for the lovely Libra collective. Hope you're all doing fabulous and fantastic, my friends. Let's get it going here. My guide, spirit team, talk to me. What do we got for Libra gang in late January as we move into Aquarius season? What energies, messages, insights can we take a peek at? And yeah, we're just going to take a real quick look at this first card. Then we'll get into the full reading itself. At the very end, I'll pull you a bonus card from the Shadowland Tarot, just to see what might be in the shadows or what shadow work you can lean into, which is always interesting. So let's get it going here. Let's rock and see what we got for Libra gang. What is the vibe? What is the energy swirling all around my good friends here? Please. Let's get this first card out. There we go. Did like a triple flip out of my hands. Ooh, it's a very reminiscent type of energy here. Very cerebral. Again, I mean, that makes sense because I've been seeing that with the other air signs as well. There's also big communication undertones, which fits with what I've been seeing for you for recent weeks. But this card screams Six of Cups to me. Now, before we fully dive into that, if you're new here, I'll be speaking about the January subscriber surprise towards the end, so you might want to check that out. Also, if you could kindly illuminate that like button by tapping it right on its third eye, you know, I'd greatly appreciate it. But enough of the promo, into the reading. Let's talk more in depth about this card. So we see this lovely lady in a blue dress. She's pretty much in the center of the card. She has her eyes closed with the hand on the face. And to me, this is very reminiscent because there's a baby doll down here. She's holding a locket. And for a lot of you in symbolism, you know, lockets represent holding on to memories of things that are near and dear to us. So when I see this card, I think of someone taking trips down memory lane. So for a lot of Libras, that might be what you're doing. Thinking about the past a little bit, thinking about what has been. This could represent a person that you have a lot of history with as well. I don't feel like this is a bad card, but there is some sort of connection to history or even soul ties. So that's something to think about. Now, there is also energy with letters and communication. So whether it's someone's like, oh, well, we need to talk about something, there could be something within the main part of the reading that ties into talking. So we'll want to take a strong look at this. Now, I will say this sometimes can represent things looping back around, especially since it's Six of Cups like, where it's like, all right, history is repeating itself, but we'll see what shows up within the reading. So we're going to put her over there. She could keep chilling. We won't disturb her. Let's get into tarot. And yeah, I always say that first card here, it doesn't make or break the reading. It's just a little footnote. So let's get you 3 tarot cards in the upright. Then we'll get into that intuitive juiciness. Shuffle it up one time here for my beautiful Libra friends. And yes, while we get this deck shuffled up and ready to go, let's talk about last week's reading. It was titled An Unexpected Win, which felt nice. And just know that that energy could bleed over for a couple weeks where it's like, all right, that went way better than I thought it would, or just something really fantastic happens like out of the blue. Okay, and it felt good to me. So if it hasn't happened for you, and I always say wins come in all different shapes and sizes, but this one really felt positive. So I'm hoping it did, and I'm hoping it does come in if it didn't yet. So let's see what we have for you this week. As you know, energy is very fluid, never set in stone, so only take this how it hits for you, because we could be seeing your vibe or somebody else's, right? Let's get it going. What do we got for Libra gang here in late January, early part of Aquarius season? Okay, we're starting off here with that Four of Pentacles. I see that as neutral. For money things, this can be good. But for personal relationships, not so much. Guess it really depends on what it is you're going through. But we'll see. I don't want to judge it too much just yet. We have more cards to pull. What do we have here for Libra, please? Thank you. Okay, we got the Hermit in position number 2. Now we're adding a little bit more mystery in this mix. So we'll talk about that. I mean, it could be a Virgo. But both of these energies are peculiar to me. Totally different from what I was picking up last week. All right, you got 2 cards that popped out together. You're going to have a bonus this week, but the first one that came was the Moon, big card of mystery, so just like we saw last week. And we also have Lady Justice, your power card, showing up here. So we'll tuck her in by that pyrite and celestite, and she could watch on. So let's go through. I'll give you some of the classical meanings and archetypes, then we'll get into that juicy intuitive stuff. At first look, first glance, I will say for like money and career, we're looking nice, because you know I always look at the elements first. Elementally, we're looking pretty good in the main part of the spread because we have two strong earthy energies. Now we have some water here. I always say when you mix water and earth, there's a recipe for potential. But there's also some other things. There's like a lot of withdrawn energy, not moving energy. There's a lot of mysterious energy. So it's like, all right, what the heck is really going on here, Libra? Because there might be some problematic things. There might be some good things. We'll just have to see and judge as we go through. I feel like this is definitely going to be a bit of a nuanced reading. Let's go through piece by piece and really start to build it out, though, especially with all this earth energy here on the front end. For a lot of you, it could be career and business related, but position number one, we're starting here with the Four of Pentacles. Now, as I mentioned, this card does split distinctly in two different directions. In regards to finances and money, this is fantastic. This represents saving up for big purchases or making big purchases. This is a card of stacking up those pentacles. It's a card of investment. So investing your money and watching it grow. There's like saving things for a rainy day. So this is really great in regards to like money. So for a lot of you, maybe it's spirit giving you a little bit of an advice, like, all right, maybe squirrel a little something away. When we get to the relationship aspects of this Four of Pentacles, it is very closed off and not budging. Okay, so there could be something that's not really changing, doesn't seem like it's changing. Could seem that it's like very stubborn and immovable type of energy here. Now, this card can really go down a rough track. Sometimes it could represent a person that's jealous. Sometimes it could represent a person that's obsessive. Sometimes it could represent someone that's not letting something go. So it could be a little bit grudgy as well. So we'll definitely want to look at this. I would say simplistically, though, this can most definitely be a problem or a serious situation of some kind. So we'll see. I mean, unless you're in that finance career-based mode, that could be really good. Now, moving over to the next card, we have the Hermit. And just like all the others, it has some positives, it has some challenges. Now, this is big Virgo energy, your zodiacal neighbor. So maybe you have some placements in Virgo yourself or you're connected to one. And I always say when it comes to the Hermit, it's a retracted, pulled back type of energy. It's like, all right, I'm pulling my energy back to home base, right? It's not exerting a lot, it's pulling back. So for a lot of Libras, maybe you're in hermit mode in this time. This card could represent some solitude. It could represent loneliness when we look at the challenges of it. A challenge of this card could also represent communication issues, not hearing from someone. Miscommunications could be a big thing with the Hermit. But there are positives as well. This is a card that is extremely wise. This is a card that is really tapped into spirituality as well. So when I feel like if you're looking for guidance, if you're trying to solve an issue or a problem, the Hermit is one of the cards you want to see because it's like, all right, well, let me think about it a second. Let me consider this. Let me mull something over. So I feel like this could be good depending on your situation, but some of you might just be laying low. That could very much be the case. Now, moving to the back end, as we get this Hermit set back down here in the center, we have the Moon, okay? And I mean, it's Pisces energy. You might be connected to Pisces when this card shows up. Some people give this to the Cancer collective as well, so take whichever one hits for you. But the Moon is very subtle type of energy. This does represent unseen energy. So if you're a sensitive person and you feel energies, that could be heightened when this card is here. Your gut intuition could be telling you things when this card is here, where it's like, I don't know about that, or, oh, maybe I should do this. You might want to follow your gut when this card is here. It links into dream states, astral states, things like that. I do like this, but it's a big card of mystery, right? And whether it's unexpected or surprising things like we were kind of seeing last week, or whether this is representing secrecy, like purposeful secrecy, especially next to the Hermit, especially next to this Four of Pentacles, it's like, I'm not saying. It's like, I know, but I'm not saying. It's like giving me that kind of vibe, which is super peculiar. So I'm not sure if you're withholding information or someone you're connected to might be withholding some information. On the very back end, we do have your bonus, your power card, Lady Justice. We love her in a Libra reading especially. She does connect to karmic things, so karmic archetypes. But when I see her in a Libra reading, it's like, okay, you will figure something out. You will get something right. You will find that middle ground. So with whatever situations pop up, maybe it's spirit urging you to like kind of find a middle ground with it, not to be too extreme. Watch out for legal things, anything contractual as well when she's here, especially with the big purchase thing in the front. But I want to dive deeper in all of it, Libra. Let's jump in and clarify. Okay, let's get a good shuffle here for my Libra friends. Let's see what's happening. And yes, this is where I go intuitive with the message, which means I just tell you how it feels to me. So feel free to do further research or rely on your base knowledge of tarot, because as you know, every single reading is about the reader's interpretation, and I'm just giving you mine. Let's go in on that Four of Pentacles. And yes, if you're a reader yourself, please feel free to play along. That's why the box is here. If you're feeling any messages you want to give to Libra, you could drop it in the comments. I don't mind at all. All right, Four of Pentacles time. What is it doing here? There's just so much not being said for some reason. Okay. I mean, it's not going to stay like that forever, that's for sure. I mean, we do have Judgment here in the upright underneath this Four of Pentacles, and these are two completely opposing energies. So like I said, about finding a middle ground, that might definitely be the way to figure something out. Like, that's how it feels to me, because these are completely contrasting energies. Now, Judgment can be representing making a literal judgment call about something, like, all right, this is what I need to do, or this is how I need to act. So there could be a situation where you need to figure out what you're going to do and follow through with it. This could be Spirit saying, like, listen, make a decision, follow through with it. Find a path, follow through with it. So this could be good with Spirit telling you not to give up, but I'm also getting this interesting middle ground type of energy here, which I feel like might be the best. Four of Pentacles under Judgment, it can represent a problem that needs to be solved quickly, or a serious situation. Like I said in the beginning, I feel like for a lot of Libras, there could be either a serious situation or a problem popping up, and it's like, listen, you need to stick to a lane, or you need to pick a lane and stick to it. But I also have this vibe of, like, you don't need to be too extreme about it. You could kind of, I don't want to say walk the fence, but it's like just right down the middle. So take that for whatever it's worth. If there's any sign that I know could figure out situations doing that, like not going too extreme either way, it would be Libra. But it's like, just do something. Do something. Like, don't do nothing. Do something. So Judgment, I mean, it's powerful. It's Plutonian. It's about change. So another thing we could see here is someone like resisting change. We're just going to keep moving forward. We're going to keep moving forward. I don't want to get stuck there. Let's keep going. Let's see what the Hermit has, because we still have the Moon on the back end too. There's a lot of energy that still needs to come forth. So why is the Hermit here for Libra, please? Why is the Hermit here for my Libras? Okay. The Wheel of Fortune, tons and tons of karmic energy. Now, this is good. Listen, my friends, there is a situation that could absolutely flip on its head. Okay, because these are also complete and total extremes. Now, for some of you, if you are going through some sort of karmic cycle, karmic process, whether it's with a person or even life itself, karmic card, karmic card, karmic card, there's all the big hitters here this week for you. So you just know you might be going through some really powerful metamorphosis or changes. Okay, some of you might just be in hermit mode while going through it. That could very well be the case. But when we see this card, it is fast. The Wheel of Fortune is fast. It's sudden. It's powerful, just like Judgment. So again, there's a lot of stuff brewing underneath the surface. And I feel like there could be various situations that like flip on a dime, that change on a dime, that completely 180. Okay, so again, whether this is like an explosive change of some sort, it flips because it's so quiet here on the top, right? Like we have the Four of Pentacles, the Hermit, we got the Moon. It's like quiet, serene, not much happening. All this intensity building up underneath. It's like, all right, this energy is going to explode forth. Okay, so whether it's an explosive change or just something that flips on its head, that's just how it feels to me. Do I think it's going to be good? Yes, I do, because all the karmic cards are upright. So I feel like that's nice. Judgment in the upright, Wheel of Fortune in the upright. But this energy is intense, intense. Let's keep moving forward. Let's see what that has to say. Hopefully it's a change for the better. I think it is. But it will be difficult. That's why we were talking about like trying to take the middle path. With all these extremes of energy, it might be hard to stay baseline, if that makes sense, or try to stay middle ground. Let's go in on the Moon. Then we'll do a quick recap before we get into the shadow. So why is the Moon here, please? Thank you. And we have the Hanged Man. So some things changing, some things never change, right? So this is that planted type of energy. Some of you might have an energetic blockage of some sort. I know that's a very straightforward, for a general reading, like I don't usually say that. I say that in personal readings sometimes when I pick it up and feel it. But when I see the Moon and the Hanged Man, there's like, no, there's something blocking you here. There's something blocking you. Is it the own subconscious? There's some sort of energy blockage. So I feel for some of you, use your own intuition to really figure out what it might be. Now, this card does link to Scorpio, Virgo energy, lots of Virgo vibes, but the Hanged Man is retracted and pulled back. It's not really moving. So just like all this energy on top, this one is kind of doing the same. So watch out for energy blockages for sure. But another thing this guy does, he plans, he watches, he observes. So hopefully this is like spiritual observers, right? People from the spirit side, spirit team, guides, and all that. And they're, even if you can't see them, even if they're hidden, they're watching you go through a process. That could be really good. But at the same time, you also might have eyes on you. So keep that in mind. There might be someone gauging your reactions to things. Okay, because I know that's something I've seen for you in recent weeks as well, where it's like someone might be testing boundaries or testing reactions. When I see the moon and this, it's like, I'm going to see what their reaction is to that. I'm going to see what Libra's reaction is before I move further. So there could be someone keeping eyes on you, watching you, and watching your reactions. That's most definitely the case. Let's go through and do a quick recap. Libra, your reading was definitely the most unique one so far that I've filmed for late January. But let's go through, then we'll get into the shadow card. If you kindly look in the box, total differences of energy all over the place here. So there's big extremes. Position number one, we have the Four of Pentacles with Judgment. Now, I did say there might be something where you need to pick a lane and follow through with it. There could be spirit telling you, like, hey, don't give up on it. You pick the lane, you follow through with it. Don't give up, which can be good. But I also got a vibe that you might need to figure out a different lane to figure something out, where it's like, all right, don't do nothing, but don't do the most, but do something. There is something that you need to really attend to or pay attention to. And I did say this could be a serious situation or a problem of some sort. Moving to the center, we have the Hermit with the Wheel of Fortune. Energy does do a complete 180 and a flip. It's like an explosive change of some sort. And that's what it tells me, like, even if not much seems like it's happening, not much is going on, there's like a powerful energy underneath the surface, like building up like a volcano. Moving to the back end, we have the moon with the Hanged Man in the upright. Some Libras out there, you might have some sort of energy blockage. So whether it's like, I mean, I don't want to get too much into that because that could be a whole reading in and of itself, but there might be something like blocking your energy vibes for whatever reason. But another thing I'm picking up here is someone observing your reactions too. So it's like, all right, let's see how Libra reacts to this. Let's see what they do. Let's see how they handle this. There could be someone like keeping tabs on you. So please take a screenshot if you want to look into it further. Let's see what's in the shadows. So let's get a good shuffle here. And yeah, I always like pulling one shadow card at the very end just to see whether it's something within you or something you don't quite see. Shadow cards don't always have to be a challenge. And yes, if you made it to this point in the reading, please feel free to check out channel memberships. I'll put a link for it in the comments below. It's a beautiful way to support the channel, and I have much love for all my channel members. Okay, let's get this going here. What's in the shadows for my Libras? Thank you. Okay. All right, I do like it. This is one of your power cards to me. It's the Empress, and she's a beautiful energy, especially since she's Libra energy. The Empress is Venus, right? So yeah, it could also be a Taurus, but I also give this card to you. So it's like we have Lady Justice. Now, even in the shadows, we have one of your power cards, which is really nice. Now, the Empress does represent abundance, blessings, cup runneth over. Remember, we do have some very positive cards here. This isn't a complete and total wash. We got the Wheel of Fortune and Judgment. Those are super positive. So this does tell me that for a lot of you, there can be an extremely positive outcome coming your way when she's here. Now, for a portion of you, watch out for any issues with motherhood or mother figures in general when this card is here, because especially if it's a shadow card, it could represent issues in that realm. But when I see her, I think of blessings and abundance, which can be great. Now, the only issue I see here with the shadow side of the Empress is sometimes she's very stubborn. So just know with what we saw with like that Four of Pentacles, the Hermit, the Moon, there is a bit of a stubborn energy in the air around you. So I feel like if you try too hard with something, you're not going to get the proper effect, if that makes sense. So please take a screenshot of that too if you want, Libra. That's what I got for you this week. Don't click away just yet, though. I'm going to give you the details of the January subscriber surprise. If you would like to get a personal reading from me and get a little forecast for what 2025 has in store for you, you can check out my website and digital calendar at mastermetaphysics.com to look for availability. But for the January subscriber surprise, we are once again giving away 3 copies of the beautiful Everyday Witches Tarot. It's one of my favorite decks. And if you'd like to get your name in for this, it's 2 simple things, as always, my friends. First, you must be subscribed. And second, let me know down in the comments, what is your main goal for the 2025 calendar year? You'll be entered to win. And at the end of the month, the winners will be announced in my community tab as usual, my friends. Much love, and I'll see you soon.